MLB special. We haven't done one of these before, so we're kind of excited about this. I am your host, Eric, my main man right there. Ron, how are you?
How are you?
Great, great, my friend. So normally, Sports Unfolded, we cover all of the weekly topics, but today we decided we were just gonna limit it to some baseball. We do hockey, we do basketball. We said, why not throw a baseball show in? So we got some big news we didn't get to cover on Friday, and so we decided that why not a better time than to do this today. So we're gonna bring this man up here, and this is Fernando Tatis Jr., who's been suspended 80 games for testing positive for PED. Obviously, the great young San Diego Padres shortstop, 23 years old. What do you think, first of all, it means for the organization, and then your overall thoughts on his suspension?
Oh, this is just bad. It's bad because, you know, people don't want to hear a lame excuse like treating ringworm. I mean,
Yeah.
really? I mean, I like whether it's true or not, it doesn't even matter at this point, because first of all, players know what's going in their bodies. I'm sorry, they know. I mean, with all of the commotion with the Maguire, Sosa, Bonds, home runs, and that turnout. Like these players know what they're putting in their bodies. I don't care what they say. I don't believe a word he says. If as far as I'm concerned, he is now tainted.
Yeah, again, we talk about the steroid era and all of those things, and now you got a guy that, again, his dad played in that era.
Yeah.
And now you're going to start to question, did he learn something from his father? Was this something that, came down the line? I hate to think that way, but you got to look at it from a standpoint as well. Why even come out with an excuse? Yeah, I tested positive and let it go. Because your point, when you actually give us the reason, it seems worse.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would have preferred him not saying anything. Just say, hey, I'm sorry. I did it and move on from it versus giving me an excuse of why it happened.
Right.
So, what does this mean for the Padres? So, you're looking at Manny Machado has had a phenomenal season, batting 298, 21 home runs, 68 RBIs, 120 hits. They pick up Juan Soto, who's been there for 10 games, on fire, 351, one home run, 3 RBIs, 13 hits. They planned on having Tatis Jr. back probably in the next couple weeks. And you think about that 1, 2, 3 punch.
Yeah.
How does this affect them going forward, especially since they're in the playoff race?
Well, it lets the wind out of the sails for sure. And look, people are now going to be wondering about other players on that team.
Yeah, there could be a question on, yeah.
Because I mean, when you look at it, when you look across the league on those players that were known to use, there were other players on that team. There were other players that they were teammates with. Maguire had teammates that were using. Clemens had teammates that were using. So it's not too far-fetched to think that maybe a player or two might be using on that team.
Yeah, it's going to be something that most people look at going forward, especially again Machado having a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
You could question it. They were very close. I also want to bring up the fact, so similar to a Chris Sale with his broken wrist, Tatis Jr. has been out
Yeah.
with a similar injury from a supposed motorcycle accident.
Right.
What is going on with these baseball players that they just can't understand the importance of, staying upright? I guess would be my. I just don't understand it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of amazing that baseball players seem to get hurt all the time during extracurriculum activities, um, whether it is just walking outside your house.
Yeah,
you know,
which has happened in the past. Yep.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that baseball players can't stay healthy, but at the same token, it's like, how bad are their injuries? That when you get football players and hockey players that are in there with extreme injuries and they're still playing, and these guys can't get in there for a blister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just baffling. So the Padres, obviously, the importance they made a lot of moves at the trade deadline, right? We talked about Juan
Yeah.
Soto already. Josh Bell has not been what they expected him to be right now. Batting 171, no home runs, 6 hits, 2 RBIs. Josh Hader, this move to me is honestly probably going to cost them. So he's 1-0, but he's got a 10.13 ERA right now. He's given up 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts in 3 appearances. Not what you expect.
No.
I think Milwaukee kind of saw that decline coming, and the Padres might be on the hook for that one. And then Brandon Drury, they picked up, batting 222, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs on 8 hits. But they trail the Los Angeles Dodgers by 16 games right now. They're only a game and a half up on the Brewers for one of those wild card spots. Can this affect them in that way where they may drop out of the wild card race?
Well, when you combine everything as a factor, the big trade, getting Soto and Bell and a lot of prospects going the other way, that was like it set the team on fire, but it didn't result in the results because they've been horrible since. They've lost. They got swept, if I'm not mistaken, by the Dodgers.
Yes, they did. Yeah, right after the trade. Yep.
And what have they won? 1 game since?
Yeah, they just haven't looked the same.
They've been terrible.
And then
believe... you get the news for Tatis.
Yeah.
And now you got players pressing. And it's like, we got to turn this around. If we don't make the playoffs now, we're the laughing stock. And that's exactly what they will be. They will be the laughing stock of the league if they don't make the playoffs because of getting Soto, which is amazing because they really didn't give up anything from their team except for Voit.
Yeah.
And they gave up Hosmer.
Prospect. Yeah. Good amount of prospects. As an organization, we've seen Tatis now. He was hurt a good amount last season. Obviously, was already missed most of this season. Now he's out till early next season. As an organization, can you trust this player? Is this something where maybe you start to question him on your team? And at 23 years old, obviously a major opportunity to maybe move on from him?
Yeah, I don't see how they could keep him, to be honest with you. Because, they got Soto there with a big, huge contract coming. And I don't see how they're going to keep Tatis. There's no way they can pay 2 of them. And I think the organization kind of already knew that they weren't going to hold on to Tatis because of these injuries, and it's too risky for them. To have to pay a big salary is one thing, but having to pay a big salary and the guy is always hurt is another.
Yeah, it's
not worth
beneficial.
It is not worth San Diego keeping him.
So he's going to lose $2.9 million in salary with this suspension. Is that enough in your eyes, or should Major League Baseball change that rule and maybe make a different standard when you get not just lose your salary? Maybe there's fines involved.
I don't know. I think for this, no. I mean, it would be different if you were sexually abusing women.
He did apologize, though. Let's
I mean, that would be different. It's not like you're murdering anybody. You're basically doing it to puff up your numbers. And I think the loss of salary is fine for that.
So I'm going to ask you this question because you are a major component when it comes to people who have used and not counting their numbers.
Right. Right.
Tatis Jr. led the National League last year in home runs, 42.
Yeah.
Are you counting those?
No.
So you believe he's been using?
I just it's tough to say with Tatis Jr. Because it really came out of nowhere for me. So it's kind of like a wait and see what we get, because you got to think there's probably some sort of an investigation now. I would think.
You would hope so to see if what his claims are. I mean, regardless, it's still a suspension, but maybe Major League Baseball can say, look, he had this illness. This is what they gave him. And, honestly, unfortunately, it is a banned substance.
Right.
Your point, though, these players, and we've seen this in the past, how do you not find out prior to taking some medication what's in it? Because I'm sure Major League Baseball will give you the list of everything that's banned.
Look, they do. All the players have that list, I'm sure. The problem is, okay, when you are on a major league team, and we see this all the time, and we've seen it in football as well, those teams provide you with pretty much everything.
Yep.
From massages.
Oh, you got back on it. Okay.
To doctors, to the training facility, whatever you need, they provide for you. When you're on the road, they have a guy that brings up your bags. They have a guy for that. So if there's any question, why doesn't the team know about it? Like if he has ringworm, don't you think the team doctors would know?
Exactly, right? Why wouldn't you go to your team doctor? Why wouldn't you make sure that he's the one prescribing this stuff?
This is what I'm saying.
So there's a lot of questions. There's more questions than answers at this point.
There's too many holes in the story for me to believe in that. And I'm sorry. Like, as much as, I believe that Deshaun Watson did it, I believe that Tatis did it. Because I just don't buy that, he has a personal doctor and whatever he gets prescribed from that guy, the team doesn't know about. Well, I'm sorry. I think the team knows about everything.
They should. They pay you a salary. And, you should be forthcoming with any information
That's right. That's right.
Coming down the pike. I mean, it's...
Yeah, because the first thing I would do if I'm on a team and doctor prescribes something, hey, can I take this?
Yeah. All they have to do is make a phone call. This is what I got prescribed. So I tend to believe, to your point, that he knew what was there and was using it to try to enhance himself. Again, he's been out for quite some time. I'm sure he's trying to get back.
And he might be using it to try to get healthier faster.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point here, was that he wanted to get back. This may have helped speed that up. Unfortunately, you got tested.
That's right.
And now you pay the price, $2.9 million.
Yeah, he's lucky this is the first offense.
So, yeah, exactly. Because the next one's a full year.
Yes, it is.
Full year suspension. So we also wanted to discuss today, we're going to bring up our baseball rankings, which will change on Tuesday. So every Tuesday, my main man, Mick, always takes care of me.
We got to get him on here.
Yeah, we're working on it. But that's our baseball rankings for last Tuesday. Do you see anything on here, Ron, that would make you think there's going to be a team or two that aren't going to be on here next on Tuesday? And you better say the New York Yankees.
That's what I'm looking at.
If they lose to Boston tonight,
yeah,
they lose to Boston tonight, there's a major movement on this list. I could see Philadelphia Phillies, who have been hot, possibly getting on the list.
Yeah, I'm surprised to not see them on there.
Yeah, Braves have just been a little better. Braves have a better record, have been able to consistently be ahead. The New York Mets are pushing for that one spot too.
Look, I
Let's
like that
not count them
New
out.
York Mets team. I think, in my opinion, if they don't get any injuries to one of two guys, actually one of three guys, um, I can see them running the table this year.
Yeah, look, very, very good team. They're built for it. They really are.
Yeah.
They got the pitching staff. They got the bats. They play well
DeGrom, Scherzer,
defensively.
and Diaz. Oh my, that is just too good.
And
Too good.
slow, can I say Buck Showalter as their manager? What a great job he's done.
Yeah.
Exactly what if Baltimore had given him some talent, this guy's a winner. He can get your teams to the postseason.
Yeah.
He can win those. You know what I mean? He almost did it with the Yankees.
And we talked about this at the preview show about Buck Showalter because we were concerned about DeGrom and pitchers being able to stay healthy because it just seemed like the past few years it was like there's something wrong.
With the Mets, yeah.
Yeah, with their pitching theory. And then with DeGrom getting hurt, and then Scherzer ended up being hurt for a little while, and it was those alerts, the red flags started waving all over the place, but they kept winning, and they stayed in first place even through those injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know, I like the 1-2 punch. That is all you need to win
In the playoffs, absolutely pitching. And I like the fact that even when the Braves were hot and playing really good baseball, they kept that lead. And then when it came to playing them, they swept them and made sure that they gained some ground. So very good job there. I agree. I think New York, the Yankees lost today to Boston. I can see them off that list. Which team moves in? That's for Mickey to decide. Mickey's our guy. We'll get Mickey on. We're going to make sure we get Mickey on for these baseballs specials. But we wanted to do something fun before we end the show. So this is our new segment that we've done already with our hockey guru. But do you remember, Ron? It is. Do you remember? I'm gonna give you three players.
Do you remember the time?
Very good. So these three players had a very storied career in one location and then finished their career somewhere else. And that's where the do you remember comes in. Do you remember? And these are some old-time greats. So I'm giving you some old-time greats.
Oh, my God.
So first one, I got to make sure I got the right picture up here. Hold on one second, my friend. And let's see what this one. No, it's this one. Okay. All right. So this first player, New York Yankees great, was on many of the title teams.
Well, that narrows it down to
One
about 50 players.
One of the best catches ever in Major League Baseball.
Oh, was he a Bear?
He was. So do you remember the last team he played for? Do you even know that he wasn't with the New York Yankees when he ended his career?
Why do I feel like he played for the Mets or something?
So let me bring up this picture.
I want to say it was in National League East.
And there you go, my friend.
He did play for the Mets.
He played for the Mets. Yogi Berra was a New York Met to end his
I got
career.
That right.
That was very good.
Hit the nail on the head, too. I remember the team.
So you think Yogi Berra, the great, right? You think about what he meant to New York Yankees baseball.
Yeah.
And he was a New York Met to end his career.
Yeah.
Which is pretty insane. That one was...
It is insane.
That was an interesting one.
Hey, I went 1 for 1 so far.
So far, 1 for 1, my friend.
That's pretty good.
All right. So this next player, San Francisco Giants great, graced the outfield for many, many years. One of the best catches ever.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays. Do you remember what team he finished his career with?
Oh, Willie Mays. Damn, the only thing I can see is Hank Aaron in the Atlanta Braves uniform right now. Because I've always thought there was a battle for the best player ever was Willie Mays and Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot remember the team.
All right. Are you ready?
Maybe St. Louis, maybe?
So Willie Mays
Damn, I thought
finished
he
his
was
career as a New York Met.
with a Met. Oh, wow.
Again, another New York Mets finished his career as
Wow,
a
he
New
just
York
does
Met.
not look right.
Right? It just looked so funny. I say, wow, this does not look like Willie Mays. I mean, San Francisco Giants, phenomenal player. Great.
That's just awful. And I'm not look, I actually kind of like the Mets organization.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like the San Francisco Giants, but that fellow right there,
Doesn't belong in that uniform.
no, he does not.
Right? It was very rare. Very rare.
Does not belong there.
It's something I was like, wow, okay.
Uh,
All right. So we're going to go to this final one. So you did okay. You got the players, maybe not the team. So you're 1 for 1. This breaks the tie here. All right.
Well, I'm actually 2 for 2, but
Oh.
I just didn't get the
All
team
right.
he went from.
All right. So this player, depending on how you want to look at it,
Uh-oh.
is the all-time home runs leader. Played for the Atlanta Braves, my friend.
Well,
You
yeah,
already
it's
said the
Hank
team.
Aaron.
Okay. Do you remember what team he finished his career with?
Wow. It's funny because I just had that vision of him
In
in
your head of the
Atlanta.
Braves. When you
and
said
now
it, I
it's
was
just-
like, wow.
Now it's just plastered, just Atlanta Braves.
Hank Aaron. What team did he play for? You ready?
No. I'm gonna say the Dodgers.
Okay. All right. Here you go. The
The
Milwaukee
Brewers.
Brewers.
I was thinking that too. Oh
The
my God, I was
Brewers.
gonna say Milwaukee.
He finished his career with Milwaukee.
I was gonna say Milwaukee,
And I think he hit like 22 home runs in 2 seasons with them.
but I just kept seeing him in a Braves uniform.
Yeah, it's just wow. Right? You talk about legends,
Yeah.
right? And that home run when the crowd right, and Hank Aaron run through with that Braves. I would
Yeah.
never think of the Brewers.
I couldn't think, and for the, I knew in the back of my mind, I knew it was Milwaukee, and I'm just like, no way, they would never get him, right?
Yeah, but towards the end of the career, they try to put some tickets, some
Yeah,
people in the stands, sell some tickets. We got Hank Aaron.
yeah, that one I kind of knew, but I just didn't think it would happen. But yeah, so
that was. Do you remember?
yeah, that's my boy right there too.
Right, that was.
I think he's the best player ever.
One of the
Because
greatest.
when you think about what he accomplished, getting that home run title back then, being a black player, and all the hate mail that comes in, death threats, and he still accomplished that. That is amazing under that amount of stress. I mean, that's saying something. I mean, to think if there was nobody against a black man playing in Major League Baseball, if there was nobody against that, he would have been played stress-free and probably would have destroyed the home run record.
Yep. Not only did he have to battle pitching, but to your point, society as a whole. So
Yeah.
Great player.
It's amazing.
So that was Do You Remember? This is Sports Unfolded. Our major.
At least I got the
Baseball
players
special.
right. And
Not bad.
Oh my God, I knew Milwaukee too. I knew it.
We'll
I
keep
think I
doing
actually
these
have a baseball card with him in Milwaukee.
with all of our shows, our NBA, our Major League Baseball, our NHL shows. We'll do a Do You Remember each show. That should be fun. Check us out every Friday night, 6 p.m. We are live. We're on Rhode Island Broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you'd like to follow us on social media, the tick has been going the whole show. Just check us out on any of those formats. We'd love to continue to grow our show. If you'd like to sponsor the show, ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. You can check that out. Send us your information worldwide. Eyes on your business. We will give you a plug on our show. and a plug on our websites.
Hey, I
So-
got some injury information for you if you want.
Sure. What do you got before we end it?
So, Boston Red Sox getting Kiki Hernandez and Trevor Story back probably this week.
That'll be a good move for them, especially Story.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Listen, with the contract he's got to be at least on the field.
Well, I think Kiki Hernandez is going to be an upgrade for Duran as well,
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
not just for the outfield.
Defensively, yeah.
Yeah.
Both players.
Houston lost Michael Brantley for the season.
Yep, for the season. Yeah, shoulder surgery, right?
And Max Fried concussion.
Yep.
So he's on the 7-day concussion IL. And Acuna
For the break.
has some right knee soreness.
Uh-oh.
Now both the player and the manager say it's no big deal and it shouldn't cost him much time. But he's already sat out a game. Just saying.
Yeah, and again, he's on the Braves. He's one of the older players. I
Which
think
is saying
he's
something.
30. Yeah, he's in his 30s. So again, you never know. Could just be rest. So we'll obviously watch the game tonight. Good luck to the New York Yankees. But Ron, I wanted to thank you for your time, your baseball insight, and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
All right. All we want in this world is peace.
Have a good night, everybody.